Welcome back to the Morning Blend. October is National Women's Small Business Month. So all month long, we are featuring small, locally owned women businesses. And we've got three actually for you today. Our next guest says we could all use a little more yoga in our lives, especially everyone out there who drives a truck, a minivan, or just sits at a computer all day long. Her goal is to help you improve your health, your mobility, and your well-being. Hope Zvara is the CEO and founder of Mother Trucker Yoga, and she is here to show us all some small, simple changes that can lead to big results. Good morning to you, Hope.
Good morning. I am excited to be here this morning.
We're so excited to have you. I love this concept. Tell us a little bit about Mother Trucker Yoga.
Well, my background is in yoga. I owned a yoga studio here in Hartford, Wisconsin for about 14 years. And then a few years ago, I went to a local business mixer here in my small hometown. And I met a guy that I hadn't met before. Kind of sounds like a pickup line, but it's not. And I started trying to pitch him corporate yoga because that's part of what I did. And he looked at me and said, "Do you have anything for truck drivers, like in the cab of the truck?" And I like to think I'm funny sometimes. And so I threw up my hands and I was like, "Mother Trucker Yoga," just trying to make the conversation fun. And he looks at me and sticks out his hand and says, "That's brilliant. You want to go into business?" And the next day he
See?
called me up and Mother Trucker Yoga was born. And then a year later, I bought him out of the business and here we are.
See, I just love how ideas like yours come to be. It's so spontaneous. It's like nothing in the universe is coincidence. So I got to ask you, why yoga and trucking? How you put those two together?
Yoga and trucking don't go together, but I found a way for them to go together. One of the things that I've learned from yoga is that it's not just about movement or exercise. Everybody else is like, you need to exercise more to improve your health. And what I'm saying is that you need to think about lifestyle changes that you can incorporate into your own life in order to improve your health. And this is where yoga comes in. It's about the little things. It's about improving posture. It's about where can I add more movement into my day. And as we age, we typically lose about 10% of our flexibility every decade after the age 30. So do the math. If you're not stretching, if you're not taking care of your joints and moving your body, and we all live such sedentary lives more than maybe we should, yoga is a great complement to maybe even some of the things you're already doing.
Yeah, see, I love yoga. One of the things I noticed a dramatic difference because during the pandemic, I wasn't able to go to my favorite studio and I wasn't doing it at home on videos like I should have been doing. But the flexibility and the balance, especially, that's another thing as we age that I feel yoga is so good for. So we all know exercise is good for us. It helps us live longer, feel better, maintain our weight. But why this type of yoga and trucking? How is it different, perhaps, than a yoga class that maybe I go to regularly?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I recognize being in the yoga world for almost 20 years now is just telling people to go to yoga and let's say do warrior two or even do tree pose, the staple poses that we're all familiar with. If we're not on the yoga mat or in the yoga class, and you said it yourself, we don't do them. And so there's a gap. There's a gap between where we are every day and the yoga, the idea of yoga. And so what makes this so unique is my whole approach to yoga and really movement in general in our everyday life is small, simple changes. So what is it about warrior two that we can add to our life? What is it about tree pose or mountain pose that we can incorporate into our everyday life where we don't need a yoga mat or we don't need yoga pants? So when I work with drivers, these are moves I'm teaching them that they can do in 3 to 5 minutes or less, many of them right in the driver's seat, even while driving, the sleeper, which is their bed in the cab, and then right outside the rig, something discreet that they can do while filling up with fuel where people are like, "Oh, this is tying a shoe." Because a lot of people don't want to be seen doing that stuff, especially when you're a truck driver parked in a parking lot where there are eyeballs on you everywhere. These are about incorporating little things into your day because that's really where the change is. Going to a 1 hour yoga class once a week is fantastic. That's how I started. But if for the rest of your day you're doing zero, no movement, that's not really the change that we're looking for. That's going to help you stay healthy and fit for the long haul.
Totally. I feel like I should have you do tree pose while you're doing this interview for the whole time. But I do want to ask you, I love the pictures that you've shared with us. And we're featuring you because you're a woman-owned business, which I love, especially this month. And people tend to associate truck driving with men, but it appears that so many more women are doing it. And I love that you're bringing yoga into the lives of women, of course, but also the guys.
Absolutely. There's less than 10% of women currently in the trucking industry. And so it is very common for me to be the only woman, let's say, in a room full of men. And I don't mind it so much because I can hold my own. But definitely there is a need for this type of education and this type of approach to lifestyle for these men and women in the trucking industry. During the pandemic, we saw this. Without truck drivers, we wouldn't have had our toilet paper.
It's
Being
true.
able to serve them in such a way has been such an awesome thing. And I think men or women alike, at the end of the day, we all need to get up and we need to move more. We need to breathe more. We need to drink more water. These are things we all can do, truck driver or not.
Yeah, and also I know you have great tips too for those of us who sit at a computer at a desk all day, just like driving where you're stationary. We ran out of time, but I just want to mention you've gotten a lot of attention, including from Forbes, about your yoga, but also your product line. Really quickly, did you want to say something about that?
Absolutely. So about a year ago, we came out with a pain relief cream called Stiff Mother Trucker. After 20 years working in the yoga world, using everybody else's, I was like, one day it'd be great to create my own. And we were given the opportunity, and we've gotten rave reviews. We're actually going to be in Love's here in about a month. And so look for us in your local Love's truck stop or convenience store. And you can also find us online as well.
Hope you have such a great energy. I love what you're doing. It's just wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It was great meeting you. So tell your pain to hit the road when you use Stiff Mother Trucker Pain Relief Cream. Right now, you can get 25% off this Stiff Mother Trucker Pain Relief Cream. So go to the website. It's mothertruckeryoga.com/SMT and use this code MB for Morning Blend 25. Again, that's for 25% off Stiff Mother Trucker Cream, which I love. Such a wonderful thing.